That's fine. Hey, y'all. Hey. Figured out to pop on since I have a little bit of work to do. This is kind of like a weird setup because my desk is kind of like high and there's a lot of space up top and I'm like to one side, but I don't feel like moving. But if you have any business, stationery, self publishing questions, feel free to ask. I'm coming live because I have a little bit of work to do and I figured why not since I'm home and I can. So if I look this way, it's because I'm live on TikTok. And if I look this way, it's because I'm live on YouTube. Hi. So right now, what I'm doing is cutting down some backing cards for affirmation magnets. I do have everything 50% off in my stationery business, Shanice CK Designs, which is closing soon. As I'm restarting. So I still have a couple of things up on Etsy. It's not a whole lot, but so this is a wholesale order. I don't know if I had flipped I don't think I mirrored my screen over here on TikTok. Let me do that real quick. Oh no, what's that? Mirror my video. So this is one of the magnets that the customer purchased. So I have to package up 25 of these affirmation magnets. And then she also got a custom affirmation magnet. I'm going to open it right now. Let me hold my hand up so y'all can see me. She also ordered a custom set of affirmation magnets. So I'm going to package those up. So in total, it's 50 magnets and then some sticky notes. So I figured I'd come live while I package that up. Since it's a custom one, she ordered, it's, I guess, tribute to like Whitney Houston. I'm not sure exactly what event she's having. I know she sells book boxes, so I'm not sure if she's creating like a new book box. So this is for one of my recurring wholesale clients, I guess, or customers. So I'm cutting down these affirmation magnets while I'm live today. So I felt like a good business topic would be, where are your customers? So that's the little prompt that I have for today. Where are your customers? I feel like a lot of times we start businesses and we think about coming up with YouTube, if y'all can hear me properly before, it's because my mic was all the way in the back. I'm so sorry about that if that was happening. But yeah, where are your customers? I feel like a lot of times we start businesses and we don't think about the marketing before we actually get the business started. Oh, nice. So we don't think about the marketing before we actually start the business, right? Most of us, we jump in head first, we start the business, we have this amazing idea. So this perspective of where are your customers is kind of me now front loading the marketing. So think about where you're at. Once you think about your product and you think about the people that you're going to be serving, so your targets, then you want to start thinking about where are these people, right? So are you targeting, depending on the generation, is the generation you're targeting even on social media, right? What if they're still watching news, right? What if they're still reading the newspaper? So you have to figure out where your clients, where your customers are in order to come up with an effective marketing strategy. Like I didn't even know people were still like reading newspapers until I went to the Dollar Tree the other day. And it was like, I was probably like there before they even opened. I feel like it was like 5 minutes before the dollar store opened. And I saw people waiting and then they went in and I saw them coming out with a newspaper. And I'm like, people still read newspapers? You know what I mean? So just think about where are your customers as you look to craft your marketing strategy, because that is going to determine some of the materials that you would be putting out. So if your customers are still reading blogs, now you need to figure out a blogging strategy. So how can you set up a website, develop a blog? Where are you going to market that blog, right? Your customers are probably, if they're blogging, if they're, around blogging or reading online content, then that perhaps means that they're also on Pinterest. So maybe instead of TikTok, you need to be on Pinterest. There's just little things like that that can help us to take our brand to the next level. And I felt like that would be a good talking point as I look to pack this wholesale order. At the same time, I am using a cutting machine and I don't want to cut my hand. So I do have to look. I have to look to see what I'm doing. So that's why I'm not looking up at the camera. And then I also need to make sure that these are perfectly sized. So I put these magnets in, what size is this? 3x5 bags. I had initially bought these 3x5. Sorry, this is too loud. I initially bought these 3x5 bags for my sticky notes, and they could not fit. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with them? And then I started putting the affirmation magnets in them. And then I ran out. So, okay, I need to cut this one down a little more. So, yeah, I'm going to try to cut these as fast as possible because 50 is a lot. 50 is a whole lot, y'all. So it just goes in there like that. And then I get the magnet. And then I just put it like that. Oh, like that. So yeah, I typically cut all the cards down first, but I wanted to test to make sure that, because I changed, usually I don't have them printed with this black border. I usually just have it printed in like a lighter color, but my printer is running out of ink. So I have to kind of change it up and just put lines as a guide. It's running out of colored ink, so I only have black ink left. So it fits perfectly, yay! All right, cool. And if you guys have any business questions, marketing questions, feel free to ask. Like, I'm an open book. I don't typically come live this time. But yeah, I figured why not make the most of it. Usually, like when I was OG running my business a couple like years ago, like a year ago, maybe, I would go live on TikTok every time I'm like packing orders, doing anything for the shop, because that is a way to be visible. My customers are on TikTok. So that was just a way for me to be visible on the platform as well as maximize my time. So a lot of people do go like live when they're, doing anything in their business that people may be interested in slightly. How do you know where your market was? How did you do research? So a lot of times it depends on if you are in those same communities. So my business is based on something that I'm interested in. So when I started off, I was creating stationery for Black women, and it was more of just wanting to be seen and wanting to have something to stand out. And so I knew that Black women who felt the same way that I did were on TikTok, right? So I was already a part of those communities. I'm always under like Black-owned businesses, hashtag, like I'm a part of that community. So I knew what that community was looking for. So I just kind of tapped into that. So that is one way you could go about it, is if you are already in the community, where do you connect with those people? So for instance, if you read books and you are targeting customers who read books, maybe your business sells bookmarks, right? You know that there are a couple of online communities. So here on YouTube, you have BookTube. On TikTok, you have Book Talk. On Instagram, you have Bookstagram. So you just want to find those community of people. And a lot of times your people could be everywhere. So they could be on multiple places and you want to be multiple places where they are. I don't see a lot of bookish content on platforms like Pinterest. So if you were to start like a business focused on either selling books or accessories for books, then you wouldn't necessarily want Pinterest to be your main focus because you don't have that like community on that platform. Definitely blogging is still a thing in terms of people still read blog reviews, but a lot more people would watch or listen to a book review as opposed to reading somebody write about a book. So it just kind of depends on if you are in the market. If you are not in the market, then definitely find different ways to poll. So poll anybody that you can. Hey, Sherry. So if you have like a newsletter, you can send out a poll and just kind of ask your audience like where like what's their favorite social media. Like it doesn't have to be specific to whatever business you're thinking about launching. Just asking like a general question as to like what's their favorite social media, what social media do they use most often, where do they prefer to get or interact with information. So any type of like polling or surveys or anything like that. And then just like looking online. I would say Reddit has been so good for me lately. Like whenever I have an idea, I go to Reddit to see if other people are talking about this. So Reddit is also a really good place for market research. What's up, Sherry? I felt like I was gonna come live today. Yeah, happy it was helpful. I felt like coming live today because I do have a wholesale order that I'm packing, and I know it's going to take me a little bit because the customer ordered 50 magnets and 25 sticky notes. So it's going to take me a little while to cut down because I package them with just like a little paper in the back. I don't know. Like my camera isn't good, y'all. I'm working to purchase a new camera. So I package it with just like a little paper in the back, and then I slip the magnets in the front. So I do have to cut those down. So it's like, I figured I'm just going to pop on live and answer questions, but just talk because I could talk. So God did a miracle for me. All my student loans. What? Oh my gosh. That is so awesome. Listen, won't he do it? Congrats. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Listen, talk about going to the mailbox. You know how they always have when you go to the mailbox, you're going to get a check. Talk about a check just appearing in your email. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Listen, won't he do it? That is such a blessing, Sherry. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Them student loans ain't easy at all. My mom is going back to college and she just got her student. I said going back to college. She's going to college for the first time. I'm so proud of her. Just like sometimes I'll be thinking about it. I'm just like crying. Because my mom is like 47 or something, maybe. And she's going to college for the first time. So she just took out her little student loan. But, it's a blessing in the moment when you don't have to pay for it. But I definitely can see and understand how, like if you're younger and you don't realize the extent of what you're getting yourself into, it can definitely be like, oh. So, yeah. I went to school in the Caribbean, so I don't have student loans. Well, I guess I got like a loan for my master's that I just got the other day, but it's not that much money because I went to WGU to get my master's because I liked the format of the program as well as I liked how like WGU, like you can finish your course like in your own time, right? The classes aren't like steady classes. So I chose to go to WGU for my degree because I knew I had like a bunch of business knowledge already, and it wouldn't take me long to finish the entire program because I know myself. I'm like good at tests and things like that. So WGU was a great experience, and I finished my program, my MBA, in like 3 months because I get obsessed with things and I was just like working. I would come home, do business, work, I was just like, I was just so obsessed with getting it done. So I only have like $4,000 in student loans. But yeah, I need to drink some water. I think I'm like 20 cards down, maybe not. How are you going to celebrate debt-free this year? Woo-hoo! How are you gonna celebrate? Do you like, I don't know, like, do you celebrate or are you just already happy that, it's done and over with? Like, all right, let's see. You're not sure. Well, I'm sure something will come to you. I'm sure something will come to you. Um, I um, I have not edited the video that's supposed to come out tomorrow yet because today was not a great day for me. It was not like, it definitely wasn't my most productive day. I've had more productive days. So today was definitely not my most productive day. That's why I'm trying to I'm like, let me get some stuff done because if I don't, I'm gonna feel bad that I didn't get enough done. So I'm like, let me get some stuff done. And I did tell my customer that I was gonna ship her order out like sometime soon. So let me come and do this. And I'm almost done with the cutting, and then I won't be like just looking at the cutting because I don't want to cut my fingers today. I do not want to cut my fingers, but I guess something I could talk about is my stationery business relaunch that I've been I'm trying to plan the relaunch. I'm thinking about like different products I want to launch, and I'm also thinking about just kind of where I'm going to be and kind of the different messaging that I want to go after. Because my idea with the relaunch of the stationery business is to tap into the productivity side of just kind of using stationery, which I started to tap into a little bit on Shanice CK Designs, but I didn't really lean into it too much because my audience weren't really interested in that. Like when I started Shanice CK Designs, and my best selling product was just it was a simple sticky note, but it was more of like representation and showing up and being bold and beige and white spaces. And so my audience was not really into like productivity and self-help resources. It wasn't clicking. It wasn't the right audience for that. We were more into just like standing out, being bold, keep things light, keep things fun, keep things colorful. So I felt like a lot of my productivity content didn't really, land the way that I wanted it to. So I started doing mostly like vanity type of content. So most of my content for Shanice CK Designs, like the stationery side of things, not the YouTube side of things, would really focus on just like how it looks and how it's going to look in your office, or even just like focusing on like affirmations and writing affirmations, or just being bold, standing out, being confident. So I feel like with the relaunch, I'm going to tap more into the productivity side of things. So I'm trying to think of like I'm still going to incorporate just like the mindset type of thing too, but it's not going to be like the primary focus. God bless you. I'm new to your channel, but do you like wholesaling unfair? Do you think it's competitive? I make jewelry and think about wholesaling also. Oh, thank you so much for joining. I like wholesaling unfair. I think it definitely depends on the industry. The stationery industry is very competitive. But not only is it competitive, it's for me, like and I can only speak from my experience, is that unfair. I felt as though it wasn't really a place for the products that I had specifically, because most of my products feature Black women and Black people. And it's a very niche, you know what I mean? Like, if all of your products feature Black women and Black people, you are already like putting yourself into the smaller subset. And so with that, it was, my offering was very unique. And I felt like on Fair, I didn't like, my brand would have not gotten widespread without me finding my own clients. So I hope that makes sense. So my experience is going to be different than your experience, because I'm assuming that since you were selling jewelry, that your jewelry is more general, right? It's more widespread. So you may appeal to like a wider audience. And so that's kind of what I felt like. I still got sales, don't get me wrong, but I definitely feel like I didn't get as much sales or push as stationery creators who maybe their products were more like floral, or their products were more like just like general theme, like, you know, random characters or food, or, you know, not what I was trying to do. So that's the only thing I would say, is that if you are in like a very, very, very niche area, thank you. It might be harder for you to get that push without doing some marketing on your own. But since you're doing jewelry, your experience is going to be a lot different. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Like, I wanted to give you my honest opinion. I love Fair. It just works best for more general type of products or more widespread type of products. Because a lot of my customers were direct customers. And the good thing about having those direct customers is that I didn't pay any transaction fees. I didn't pay any, at the time, I didn't have to pay any fees for them to send the money to my account. So that was a huge benefit to me for using Fair, because not a lot of places are going to just send you your money, like all of it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely advantageous when you have platforms that are willing to send you all of the money that the customer paid to you, and not take any fees out of it. So I love Fair for that reason, but I did have to find a lot of my own wholesaling clients because of my niche, not because of the platform. So yeah, I'm long-winded too. So y'all don't ask me no questions if you're not prepared for the long answers. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I am long-winded though. But I like to give context so that I don't want to deter anyone from going on a platform, but at the same time, I don't want to say get on this platform and then the results are not what you expect. So I like to give a realistic perspective. But thank you, Sherry. My glasses, I got them on iBuyDirect. I think that's what it's called. It's iBuyDirect. I need to get a new pair because I have not been wearing these the way that I should be wearing them. And usually when that happens to me, it tells me that I need to get a new pair. All right, cool. Hey, I've been ignoring TikTok. Like, I keep forgetting that I'm live on TikTok. But if y'all have any additional questions, feel free to ask. I know I'm long-winded, but at least when you get a long-winded answer, you have a good amount of information to run with. And if you have a more private question, I do offer text consulting. So you can visit my website. I'm actually going to take a little second and put the link in the chat. Let me pause for a commercial break. I do have text coaching or consulting. So if you are open to supporting me and getting your questions answered one-on-one, I'm going to drop that link in the chat real quick. Thank you for sharing. I also understand because I also make handmade African American designs on my bracelets, but I do a wide variety of handmade bracelets and I love their answer. Thanks. Well, see, look at that. Look at that. That is so cute. That sounds like some nice bracelets. Listen, don't tell me about good products, okay? I just my last live that I was packing order, somebody from YouTube purchased some of my sticky notes and I sent it to her. And she also had an Etsy shop. And I always like it when customers purchase from me and then they purchase using the name of their Etsy shop because then I get to go and check out their Etsy shop. So I checked out her Etsy shop and she had just the cutest, like beaded jewelry. And so I noticed that I also had her on TikTok. And it's so crazy because it's just like, I don't know how long I've had her on TikTok, but it's like I saw her on YouTube. She purchased. I saw her Etsy. Then now she's on my TikTok. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's on my TikTok. So then I just went and purchased some jewelry from her shop. And I'm just so excited. I'm waiting for them to come in. I got some earrings. And I think I got some rings. She makes wire jewelry. And it's so interesting because when I was in college, that was like one of my, I guess I can't really say it's my first business. It was my second business. Because my first business was me selling air fresheners. My mom used to work at this gas station. And I used to sell air fresheners like to the people who would come to the gas station. I would like go to a supermarket and buy the air fresheners and then come back and resell them at the gas station. So that was technically my first business. But when I was in high school, I really wanted to buy a BlackBerry. Like Blackberries were in during that time. So I really wanted to buy a BlackBerry. So I'm like, ain't nobody in my family gonna give me no money to buy a BlackBerry. So I went and I sold the air fresheners, bought the BlackBerry, and that was like technically my first business. But my second business was selling jewelry when I was in college. That was when I was in my crystal era, not in that era anymore. I don't wear crystals anymore. But when I was in my crystal era, I used to wear crystal jewelry and I used to sell them in college. How to get your journal in stores? That is a great question. So from what I've looked at or looked into, a couple different options. So one option is Fair, right? Fair is a wholesaling platform, and a lot of the people on Fair have stores. So they have bookstores, they have little boutique stores, they have stores. So that is one way to get your products in stores is to use Fair. So sign up on Fair, and that's one way. Another way to get your, I guess you're saying a journal. It's a little more difficult with a journal than a book because with like a book, you could definitely use Ingram Spark. So Ingram Spark, self-publishing. So you could publish your book on Ingram Spark and they would send it to bookstores. And then you can then go and publish that same book on KDP. So that way you get the higher royalties because you're directly published to KDP, and then you get the access to the local bookstores or smaller shops because of your access through Ingram Spark. So that's the second way. The third way is to do a lot of your own, like cold calling and cold emailing. So you would go online, you would look up stores that are of interest to you. So if you see a bookstore that you like and you think that your product would do great in that store, or if it's a little, reselling store, like whatever store it is, and you just kind of cold call or cold email that company and just say, hey, my name is, so-and-so, I have this book. I think it would do well in your store. I can send you, sometimes you may need to send a sample for free. So I can send you 5 just kind of see how they do. And then if it works out, then you can kind of reorder and purchase, or you could just go right off the bat telling them your rate. So that's like the third way that you would do it. And then another way you could do it is to partner with somebody who's already kind of doing that, right? So maybe they do like gift boxes, or they do like subscription boxes, or some type of package. So you can partner with someone else and they can kind of help you to do that. So those are just the ways that I would most likely lean into. There are probably other ways to do it. But those 4 are the ones that are coming right off the top of my head right now as I look at your question. Thank you. And I do make unique, bold, versatile designs to, I believe, different streams of income. So I applaud you for being an entrepreneur on the Great Channel YouTube. Oh, thank you so much. Listen, different streams of income all the way. What? 100%. So yeah. I am almost done. I hope I have 50. I should have 50 because I think I printed 50. And then I'm going to be done with cutting. Thank God. So yeah. I'm really excited to relaunch my stationery shop. I've been thinking about it a lot, but I actually have not done anything towards the relaunch, but I've been thinking about it a lot. But I feel like, I don't know, you guys, like, I keep saying I'm not going to find a job, I'm going to do freelancing, but I just have not been doing the right things to freelance either. I just don't know. I think I'm just so tired from work that I'm just like lazily doing things. But I think I'm going to start my freelancing thing and then do it for like 2 weeks. And if I don't get any clients after 2 weeks, I'm just going to forget about it. But that's my plan. My plan is to try to find some clients for 2 weeks and then lazily. Sorry, I was too lazy to get up. But yeah, I'm so excited about the stationery business. I just cannot like fully decide what to like do. Like I know what to do, but I also don't know what to do because a part of me wants to start off hand making a lot of the products, and then a part of me does not want to hand make the products. So like the first product I came up with, and I use this one. So the first product I came up with is this notepad, and I'm calling it the Success Planning Pad. And it's, I don't know. This is what it is. Let me just not even give my opinion. So this is what the Success Planning Pad is. And let me know if you think this is a good product idea since I'm on here telling y'all all my business. So up here has the date. And then you choose like the day. So Sunday to Saturday to Sunday or whatever. Then you have a verse or quote. So the initial design of this just said verse, right? The initial design was just verse. So you wake up, you're like, what am I gonna do today? You grab your Success Planning Pad. You are going to start off with a Bible verse, right? So you open your Bible, you get a Bible verse, you jot down the Bible verse of the day. Then, depending on the verse you jot down, you put a declaration. And then you talk about what you're grateful for. What does self-care look like for you today? Today will be successful if you accomplish this thing. And then you have like a brainstorming section. And then on the other side, so this side is like the mindset side. Then on the other side, you have your to-do list. So what are the priorities? Like what are the things you need to do? Any meetings you have that day, more space for just like notes or doodling or drawing or whatever you like to do. And then you have a time blocking planner. So this is the first product that I came up with for the new business. And I'm thinking I like it kind of simple. Like most of my products are like bold and colorful. And I'm thinking like with the relaunch, I want to try kind of like simple and just like effective and functional. But I don't know. I'm like kind of holding back. So then I went through and I edited it because I'm like, what if the person doesn't want to put a Bible verse? What if they saw a quote that spoke to them and they want to put a quote into the verse? So then I kind of updated it to say verse or quote, declaration or affirmation, just kind of make it a little more. Like, let's stop it. I don't know. Thank you for saying that. See, Sherry, because now you made me feel a little bit more confident in it because I'm like, Shanice, girl, who gonna buy this? So thank you for that. But that's the product that came to me and I need to launch it. but I guess this is a soft launch. This is a soft launch. So I'm gonna perfect it, tweak it a little bit, and then I'll put it out there. So that's what I've been what do you call it? I've been stewing that idea for a little while. Do you have a full-time job, or do you just focus on your own business? And how many businesses do you do to make an income from home? Or do you suggest writing ebooks on Amazon or Ingramsburg? Let's see. So first question, do you currently have a full-time job? No. I just quit my job in January. So I quit my teaching job. January 31st was my last day. So February was just my full month, my first month home. And so I've been focusing on business for the month of February into now March. However, it's like weird to say focusing on business simply because I'm actually transitioning business. So I'm closing down my stationery shop, Shanice K Designs, just because I felt like it was getting too confusing with running the stationery shop, but also providing like information on how to make money online and how to start publishing. I just felt like it was getting too much. And I wasn't really like running the stationery business to the extent that I wanted to run it, because honestly, running a product-based business takes a lot. It takes a lot of marketing. It takes a lot of time to package and ship orders. And I was kind of at a place where I was just doing too much at one time. So I was going to school, getting my MBA. I was working. I was trying to grow on YouTube. I was trying to run the stationery business and ship orders out on time. And it was just getting like too much. And so I felt like I needed to separate everything. So that's kind of what I've been doing over the last month is I've been figuring out different ways to separate the businesses. And it's definitely been a transition. But what I can say is most people, it's going to take a couple of different streams of income for you to make a certain level if you're just starting out. Like, for instance, I'm just now growing my YouTube. So YouTube does not even anywhere close provide me with a full-time, like enough money to be like full-time in my business. At my product-based business, at one point did provide that. Like at one point I was making more in my product-based business, not including KDP, like just with my sticky notes and my bookmarks and things like that. I was making more in my product-based business than I was making at my full-time job. So I know for sure that my product-based business has that potential, but because I'm in this transitioning phase, it's not there right now because I'm not putting in half the work that I used to put in before. Because before it was all just about the products and promoting the products, and it just started being about so much more than that that I need to kind of change that up. What's the next question? How many businesses do you do to make income from home? Right. So now that I'm home, like during February, I was able to double my income from my business, but that money came from a bunch of different sources. So a good portion of the money came from YouTube. And when I say YouTube, I don't just mean AdSense. I do have like a couple brands that I work with here on my YouTube channel. So some money did come from that. So YouTube, including brand deals and just my videos. And then some of the money also came from my products because I was closing down my shop. So I gave like a 50% discount. So I made, a good bit of money because a lot of people, wanted to help me to close down the shop, or they just wanted to take advantage of the fact that I had 50% off of all of my sticky notes. You can see some behind me. So if you go over to my Etsy, which I'm going to put the link right now, everything is 50% off. And it's literally a steal of a deal. So if you've been eyeing any of my stationery products, and I do encourage you to go ahead and check that out. And they're not going to come back. Like, oh my gosh, can you even believe that you're not even going to be able to access these products in like the next couple of months? So definitely take advantage of that by shopping 50% off of all stationery products. The link is in the description. So I made some money from that. And right now, you guys, I'm actually just putting, what time is it? Because I have therapy at 5. I'm just putting the cards in these little baggies. So that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, I want to say the money came from a couple different sources, at least 6 sources. Is what I need to make enough money to pay all of my bills each month. But at the same time, my bills are really expensive. So it's not like my bills are inexpensive. I have a 4-bedroom house, and a 4-bedroom house costs a lot of money. So my bills are really expensive. So there's that. What's the next part of your question? Do you suggest writing ebooks on Amazon or Ingram Spark? I mean, if you want to write an ebook, write an ebook. That's what I would say on that. I don't want to say that the ebook market on Amazon KDP is dead. I don't think anything is dead. I do think that people are very, suspicious of ebooks on KDP. So it really depends on the book. It depends on the type of ebook you're trying to write, and it depends on how much money you're trying to make from that ebook. Maybe people are a little bit more trustworthy of ebooks on Ingram Spark, so maybe that might work out better for you, just from what I've heard in the streets. Honestly, with my experience with selling ebooks, I do well selling ebooks on my website. And I can sell them for more. Like I don't have a lot of experience with ebooks, but I've just been selling. If you guys didn't know, listen, I'm shamelessly promoting all of my things right now. So if it's too much, I'm sorry. But my ebook, More Than a Vendor List. So if you're looking to start a stationery business, I do have an ebook. It's called More Than a Vendor List, and it gives you vendors for over 15 stationery products, some of which I am packaging here today. So I'm going to also drop that link in the chat. I know sometimes the chat doesn't replay, but I'll be sure to include these links in the comment section of this video when it saves. So I'm going to put that right there. So that is my vendor list. So I've had good, like it's been great selling this ebook. Where are you from? I think I hear an accent. Oh my gosh, I missed your question. If you're still here, I was born in Jamaica, but I was raised in Antigua and Barbuda. So I kind of have like a mixed accent. I like to say, if I sent you an invitation, I'm so sorry. I like to say that my accent sounds like I'm from the Caribbean, because I truly am from the Caribbean. I didn't spend long in Jamaica at all. But yeah, I did go back to Jamaica for college though, just because Antigua, we're small, we don't have any colleges. Well, at the time when I was going, we didn't have any. So, but now I think we do. So yeah, so that's my ebook, More Than a Vendor List, in case anybody's looking to get a vendor list to start a stationery business. But I have more success selling that on my own website than a lot of people have success selling their ebooks on Amazon. So if you are creating an ebook that is based on your niche, it's based on something that you have true experience with, then the best strategy today to sell an ebook like that is to set up a TikTok or an Instagram. So Instagram or TikTok. It could work on YouTube, but you probably have more success setting up TikTok or Instagram. And how you would sell that ebook is your page would be focusing on this ebook and the benefits that it has to offer. So all of your content is going to be leading back to the ebook. So basically your social media is literally just a funnel to get people to that ebook. So that's what's been working now. People are sort of getting tired of that too, because, I think people have caught on. But if you have a good quality ebook, like your ebook actually has value to offer to your customers, then it's going to work out for you. For instance, in my case with my ebook, More Than a Vendor List, nobody cares who I am. They just care of the fact that they can see I've run I have a successful stationery business. And if I'm like, hey, I'm selling vendors, people are like, hey, I'm going to purchase your vendors, because why not? It's going to save me time. I don't have to do a lot of this research on my own. I know that these vendors are good because you have a business and you have vetted them. So that's what I would say if you're looking to sell an ebook in 2024. That is wise. You have multiple streams. Some people do not. Yeah, like literally. You have to have multiple streams of income. There is this creator that I follow on TikTok. I have her on TikTok. And she shows like how much money she makes in her small business. And a lot of people were surprised because she shared like product sales on Etsy. She made about like $300. Product sales on her website, she made like $400. Brand deals, she made like $6,000. So people were like, it's crazy that you made more from like brand deals than you made from selling your actual products. And that just shows how much you need to have multiple streams of income. Like, what if she never tapped into brands? Then she would have just had a $700 month in her business, and her, she wouldn't have made enough money to cover her utilities or whatever. So it's like we need to understand that businesses go through seasons. Like it's very seasonal. No matter how much people are coming on talking about they're making this amount of money, making that amount of money, like nobody is making that consistently throughout the year. Every business has its seasons, and sometimes the lows can be low. So you definitely have to have other sources of income. Wow, congratulations. You no longer have a job. I'm just starting out as well. I'm still working, but my goal is to become full-time entrepreneur. I know it's work, but I'd rather work for myself. Yes. Yes. Listen, it is so hard. I just woke up this morning like I need to look for a job. And you know what I did? I put in a job application. Tell me why it's one of those, and they told me that I had an interview. So I'm like, okay, cool. Go to the interview. Tell me why it's a Zoom call with like 15 other people. I'm like, I don't want the job this bad. Like, I don't want the job this bad, because if it's a Zoom call with 15 other people, like that's not even an interview. Like, what are you talking about? That's not an interview. How's a Zoom call with 15 other candidates an interview? I just left. They were like, Shanice, please turn your camera on. I was just like, no, I'm not turning my camera on in a Zoom call with 15 other people. This is supposed to be a job interview. Like, well, why does this feel like a scam? The job market feels like such a scam right now. I'm telling you. Can I make my journal? Yes, you can. Yes. It would be kind of like a, I guess you would just call it a digital product as opposed to like an ebook. So you could make it into like you could advertise it as like a digital journal or a digital notebook or a digital planner or a digital like workbook or something like that. But yeah, it would be a great ebook. And if you need help with that, let me know. I've been meaning to put a video on that. Like somebody had asked me to put a video on like how to create like digital planners with clickable links, and it's like so easy. So you would just like do it in Canva. Well, that's where I do it. And then, or you can do it in anything that you work in, as long as it allows you to like put a link. So you would just like put an object and then you would insert link and put the link to the page that you want the person to go to. It probably sounds a lot simpler, but I'm going to make that video too. So if you want to use that as kind of helping you to convert it, then that would work out as well. Thank you for sharing about the ebooks and where to market. I was thinking about on my website and myself, and yes, I experienced the Zoom call. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like, what are you even doing? But yeah, that's definitely the best way to go for ebooks right now is on your own website or on your Shopify, not even on Etsy. Like I don't even have my vendors list on Etsy. And it could be that I'm missing out on traffic. It could be, but I just don't want to pay any fees on it. So I'm just like, you get it on my website. And I'm driving most of my traffic too, because I don't think it's something that people are really going to search for to that extent. And I have my website set up to the point that if somebody does search for it, like if somebody is like, oh, is there a stationary vendors list? I have my website set up to the point that eventually it's going to start popping up on Google. So that's the next thing. If you have a website and you haven't like signed up for Google Search Console, I highly recommend signing up for Google Search Console because it shows you what search terms are getting traffic to your website. And it's also a nice way if you are kind of stuck on content. It's a nice way to decide like which content you want to post next. So Google Search Console has been so good in my business. And it's really, really easy to sign up on. You just kind of sign up and then you claim your website. You submit your sitemap to your website, and then it just kind of indexes your page. So you're basically telling Google like, hey, I would like you to send traffic to my website. And they're going to start sending traffic to your website a lot faster than if you were just to kind of wait for Google to realize that you have a website. So sitemap is like knocking on the door like, hey, I have a website. And you can do that in Google Search Console. But yeah, I have therapy, you guys, unfortunately. Oh my God. It's like sometimes I like therapy, but sometimes I don't like therapy. Like today, I don't like therapy today, but usually I do. Because as a business owner, I feel like it's so good to have someone to talk to. And I think she's going to be excited because low key, most of my sessions were me complaining to her about my teaching job. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be like, the Google Search Console, let me send you the link. I'm sure she's going to be like, oh, you quit your job. I'm going to be like, yes, I did. And I think maybe that's why I don't want to go to therapy today, because it's just like, I don't want to deal with it. All right, so that's the link. I have such a basic website, but it works for me. I'm just not good at making websites. Thank you so much for your honesty. Yeah, listen, nothing wrong with a basic website as long as it has the information that it needs to have and you have your SEO set up correctly. Listen, that's the most important thing with websites, is not missing out on the SEO opportunity. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna hop off of here and get ready for my little therapy session. And I did not get a whole. You see what I got done in an hour? Talking and not much, I guess. Okay, so 50 packaged, and did I show you guys the? I think I've showed this sticky note before. This is the last thing I'm gonna do before I log off of here. So I think I've shown this sticky note on here before, and I don't know if I have any left, but I just opened the box because I didn't open the box yet. All right. So my first viral video on TikTok was literally me doing this. Like that's all I did in the video. I was just like, oh, sticky note. Anyways, this is the sticky note that she ordered. It says Just Bless, and she makes book boxes. She sells them on Etsy. So if you're into book boxes, then maybe I'll put her, let me see if I can find her Etsy shop real quick. I probably won't be able to find it, but if I find it later, I'll tag it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to come back on tonight. I think I'm just going to, if I do go back live, I'm probably going to go live on TikTok. But it was nice talking to you guys. Thank you so much for chilling with me so I didn't have to come live and be embarrassed that nobody's here. But have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to see y'all live tomorrow at 12:15. No idea what we're talking about, but I'm sure God will bring something to my awareness. Anyways, have a nice day. Thank you so much again, and bye. Bye.